This week saw the release of the 4th issue of DC's Two-Face series, a story in which Harvey Dent tries to bring some order back to his life and Gotham City's underworld by establishing the White Church, a sort of criminal's court. In order to achieve his lofty ambition of managing the Rogues Gallery's disputes, he has locked up his bad Harvey personality in a prison in his mind, leaving only good Harvey masquerading as Two-Face. So far, he's defended Mr. Zsasz on a false accusation of murder, proved the Royal Flush Gang's king hadn't been unfaithful to his wife, and recovered Scarface after he'd been kidnapped by a baby doll. All of these events were the machinations of Dent's secretive foe, the Shadow Hand, who was trying to undo Dent's good work. Last issue revealed the identity of the mysterious Shadow Hand, and wouldn't you know it, it's bad Harvey trying to sabotage good Harvey without his knowledge. It wasn't a particularly surprising revelation, given that any time Two-Face tries to go straight, he ends up sabotaging himself. See the Batman the Animated Series episode Second Chance, and the One Bad Day Two-Face special. But this comic isn't really a mystery in a traditional sense. It's more of a glorious celebration of the weird psychodrama that takes place inside the mind of Harvey Dent, quite literally in this issue's case. Before going further, I wanted to quickly share my thoughts on the news that this series will be ending on issue 6. To be honest, I had always assumed that it was a 6-issue miniseries, and I don't know why. I could have sworn I had read it in the initial solicitations, but I could be wrong. Ultimately, writer Christian Ward says that this storyline will neatly finish on the 6th issue, with enough left open that he would be able to continue the story in the future, if he gets the opportunity. The fact that the series is ending 2 months from now shouldn't be too disappointing though, because this series really is a wonderful love letter to the binary Mr. Dent. I would have loved to have seen more, so perhaps DC will consider adding it as a backup story to Detective Comics, which would be pretty apt, given the fact that it is mostly a legal drama. With that out of the way, let's talk about the issue. So, the big headline that'll be most relevant to my regular viewers is that the issue features the debut of Harvey Dent's alternate personality, the Judge. Fans of the DC Animated Universe will remember the character from the New Batman Adventures episode, Judgment Day. In the DCAU, the Judge was a ruthless vigilante that targeted the supercriminals of Gotham, Killer Croc, the Penguin and the Riddler, and tried to murder Two-Face. I have already released a video about the Judge, which I have linked to in the info button and this video's description, so add that to your watch later list if you want to hear more about him. The quick summary is that he was a mysterious, faceless figure that took a very harsh approach to punishment. It would transpire that the Judge was a new personality within Harvey Dent, and his objective was to punish Two-Face for all the crimes he had committed. Of course, Batman foiled his plot, and the episode ended with Dent safely locked up in Arkham, while going through a trial in his mind. And this issue is a little similar, in that there is a trial taking place in Dent's mind, but we actually get to see it play out in front of us. Obviously it isn't connected to the DC Animated Universe, but this series has already contained a number of nods to that show, such as Baby Doll. The crime that Dent is accused of is creating Bad Harvey, or Scarvey, as he was called when they were children. It wasn't the acid attack in the courtroom that created him, it merely granted him a way out. Where the other issues had focused on Dent acting as a lawyer defending other criminals, in this case he has to defend himself from the accusations of himself. It's a glorious psychodrama that delves into Harvey Dent's childhood, and we learn the origins of his mental health problems. Harvey Dent was the son of 2 dedicated and ambitious people. His father was a politician that campaigned on the promise of cleaning Gotham up, but he really should have been focusing on cleaning his own act up. He was a violent alcoholic, and he took his frustrations out on young Harvey, flipping his lucky silver coin to determine if the child would get a beating or not. His mother, meanwhile, found it easier to ignore her husband's flaws and focus on her work as a lawyer. Rather than doing something about the abuse Harvey received, his well-meaning mother instead did something far more damaging. She taught Harvey how to compartmentalize his pain, and this gave birth to Bad Harvey, or Scarvey as he would come to be known. When Dent's parents divorced, his father was granted custody, but he had the opportunity to leave with his mother. However, Harvey mentally checked out, leaving Scarvey to live with his father and endure the physical abuse. Eventually, Dent's mother intervened and got custody, and when the abuse stopped, Harvey discarded Scarvey to the darkest recesses of his mind until the day his face was disfigured in the acid attack. Scarvey did not ask to be born. He bravely faced his abusive father and protected Harvey, and his reward was to be cast aside in the dark for decades. I really like how Scarvey is portrayed in this issue. Firstly, as a child with a visible scrape on his face that gets larger over time, signifying Dent's declining mental health. By the time of the acid attack, Scarvey's face is one massive gaping wound. But now Scarvey has had enough, and he demands restitution by being given full control of the body they share. The judge offers to resolve their dispute with the flip of a coin, but at this point Harvey Dent reminds the two of them that they are his constructs. He is in charge. Seeing Harvey Dent be so in control to the point that he refused to allow the flip of a coin to decide his fate indicates that actually Harvey is getting better, despite his lapse with the shadow hand. With his mind made up, the judge vanishes and Scarvey is sent back to his dark prison, where the watchful figure that had stopped the mental prison riots in the previous issue reveals her identity, a shadow version of Harvey Dent's mother. She is who Harvey remembers her being, and she clearly takes pity on poor, wounded Scarvey. Quite what this means for future issues isn't clear, but I find it hard to believe that it'll be good. Two-Face number 4 is available now from all good comic shops. If you're based in the UK and don't have a comic shop near you, then you might want to use my affiliate link with the UK's largest comic book retailer, Forbidden Planet. I have included a link in this video's description. Alternatively, if the idea of hoarding a collection of comic books fills you with dread, I'm getting perilously close to filling up our storage unit, you may want to try getting a digital copy of the issue from Amazon. I also have a global affiliate link which you could use to help my channel out. I've included my Amazon affiliate link in the info button in the top right corner, as well as the video's description. To those that have read this issue, what did you think? Were you thrilled to see the Judge make his mainline comic book debut, even if it was a little brief? What did you make of the all-seeing jailer Mrs. Dent? Oh, and the teaser for the next issue notes that next time we're going to have to roll the dice or die. I guess that means we're finally going to learn who Die is. Hooray! And just before I wrap up, special thanks to all of my current channel members who help make these videos possible. Next time, I'll be back on Friday to talk about the detestable villain from the futuristic world of Batman Beyond, the leader of Cobra, the snake-worshipping cult, Xander. And on Monday it'll be time to cheer the Tin Man in another Creature Commandos video, this time talking about G.I. Robot and his fixation on ridding the world of Nazis. And at some point next week I will be talking about the latest issue of Absolute Superman, which promises to focus on the final fate of Krypton. The cover certainly makes it look like the planet is going to explode, but I wonder if it's more of a metaphorical explosion rather than a physical one. I guess we'll find out next week. Hope to see you then.